I began to understand that the devil had been trying to get me to kill myself. And it just came to mind that it was scales, like the scales on a reptile. Sat down in the chair in the living room. My head was just pounding. I felt rotten from the hangover of the drugs and the alcohol. And I turned on the TV, and the 700 Club was on. And I don't know how it got on the 700 Club. I rented the house with my brother. We never watched any kind of spiritual programming, but there it was, and there was a man on there named Ben Kinchlow talking about drugs and alcohol. And it seemed like everything that he was saying was to me. And then he mentioned Hebrews 13:5, I will never fail you nor forsake you. And I felt the need at that time to pray the sinner's prayer and ask Christ to come into my life. When I did that, it felt as if an electrical charge started in my feet and came up through my body and lifted 2 tons of weight off my shoulders. And I remember getting up out of the chair and walking around the living room just saying, wow, something just happened. When I got up out of that chair, it felt like scales had fallen from my eyes, and I've thought about that through the years. Why did I think it was scales? Well, the enemy is described as a serpent in the Garden of Eden, and we also know that the Bible said the God of this world has blinded the minds of unbelievers. Well, of course, I think that Paul had that experience where it felt like scales had fallen from his eyes. And again, as I've thought about this over the years, I can't help but think that the enemy had me blinded by having the body of a serpent wrapped around my head so that I could not see. And then I realized that he'd been trying to get me to kill myself through the drinking, the drugs, coming close to overdosing, driving while blacked out. Things changed. God took away my desire to curse. I'd spent time in the Marines, been on Navy ships. I could curse a blue streak. He also took away my desire for things like drugs. And I used to think that lifestyle was fun, but fun for me now is spending time with the Lord, spending time with my wife, my children and grandchildren, and teaching what I have learned and telling others about what God has done for me.
How great the love of Jesus Christ. Upon the cross of Calvary, the blood was shed that pardons me. No longer bound, no more defeat. How great the love of Christ my King. There is no power, there is no grave